By far one of the standout releases in 2025 is Shoya Chiba's Streak. His first full-length album, released in July, was quite possibly one of the most exciting releases in 2025, already a contender for Best Album of the Year, and with plenty of awesome stuff to talk about. So in this episode, let's talk about Shoya Chiba's Streak. Welcome to SEIYUU Lounge, I am your host Vanessa, and in this episode let's talk about Shoya Chiba's Streak. Starting from this point, this is a viewable episode, this is an excerpt from the monthly review episode of July 2025. If you have watched it, it's going to be almost the same, but the outro, let's say the last 10 minutes of this episode, they are unique, so if you want to skip that, you can skip, but if you haven't watched that episode, please watch from this point on. Enjoy. The CD dropped in July and it was amazing. One thing that I said that I was really worried, and I talked about this in the unboxing video. In case you have checked the unboxing video, I hope you enjoyed it. If you haven't, I welcome you to watch that unboxing video. If you pause this video, you can go to that, or you can wait for this video to wrap up and you can go check the unboxing. It's a really fast one, I feel, and you go over all the content that is inside of that deluxe version that I have. With the Blu-ray and the photo book, which is amazing in terms of the content. I mentioned at the time that I was happy finally that King Amusement Creative actually was putting an effort into delivering quality for their artists, because let's be honest, King Records has some of the best singers among male SEIYUU in their repertoire, but when it comes to releasing music, they usually tend to rob fans. They try to say this is a new CD, but only has 3 or 4 songs in 12, which is not a new CD. Technically is, but the content isn't. So they usually try to do that to actually cash in a lot. And that's a practice that I don't like at all, because it is against, basically it plays against fans, because you are going to spend a ton of money getting songs that you already have, potentially. So right now, I'm quite happy with what they pulled off with Streak by Shoya Chiba. The CD is full of new content. Actually, we only have 2 old songs in there, which were previously released. Control and Blessing were the 2 songs that were previously released. They were title tracks in their respective CDs. But other than that, every single piece of content there was new. Let's say Harmonize was not new as well, because that was a pre-release single, which dropped earlier this year, which is completely different from what we are going to talk about, but still we are going to mention it. But I felt that we got a ton of content and a ton of value with any release or any version of Streak this time around. So any Shoya Chiba fan that gets this CD physical is going to get a ton of value for the money. Finally, a CD by King Amusement Creative or King Records, in which you are not paying for previously released songs with a new cover and it's ready to go. Nothing else is there to actually make you feel that you got something special there. And as we all know, usually people don't buy, let's say some people or most people don't buy physical media, so you need to actually have a really appealing package if you are trying to get people to buy something. And usually King Amusement Creative or King Records, they usually are not the most creative in that department. They try to cash in as easily as possible. I can understand they are a business, but still for fans it's a really bad practice, because fans feel that they are being robbed because they are paying for something that they already paid before, because the single's already previously released. In this case for Shoya Chiba it was obviously different, because Blessing was in the first EP and Control was in the first single, and the 2 songs were the leading tracks in those specific releases, and they were brought into this album. You didn't get any other songs here. I was dreading that they would bring Kanjuro and the other songs into the CD, and we would get basically a best-of with 2 new songs. Thankfully, we didn't. We got plenty of content, and I'm still not talking about the CD in specific, I'm talking about the specifications, but still, I feel that this is something that people, and it will detract a lot of people from buying a CD, is physical especially, is when you feel that you are being robbed because the content already dropped and it is dropping yet again, but just in a different format, or in the similar format but in a compilation album of some sort. I like to see these from King Amusement Creative to finally give some value to the fans. I hope that this keeps on being a trend, but as we all know, they are a business. They may have done these because Shoya Chiba is not that big, but they may not do this with Mamoru Miyano and Shotawai because they are really massive in comparison. So it is a case-by-case scenario in this case, but I'm thankful that Shoya Chiba actually got a really good value for money in here with this release, because Strict, the limited edition with the Blu-ray and the photo book, is quite massive in terms of the content. You even have the acoustic live show that he held last year in there. So you have tons of stuff from the music videos, lyric videos, and even that, and the making of all the music videos that were released up until now. That's a ton of content in the Blu-ray, which is not common for SEIYUU artists. So I'm really happy that we got a really deluxe version that feels deluxe, for a change. Now, when we talk about the CD itself, one thing that I was really worried that King Records would say, yes, let's go with pop music because that's what sells. And while I agree that Shoya Chiba can sing it all, and he can actually nail pop music really well, I feel that that's not necessarily the music genre that he likes the most. But if you actually listen to him talking in his radio show, read what he writes for that serialization corner that he has for a magazine, a SEIYUU magazine, he often talks about rock music. Even online, he usually engages in conversations with Arthur Lounsbury about rock music, for example. So he's a big rock fan. So you would assume he would venture towards rock instead of having King Amusement Creative pushing him towards making pop music. And although he has had his moments with Kanjuro, for example, which is divine, that song is amazing. And I was not expecting to say that was the best song in Blessing. I was expecting Blessing, the title track, to be the best song because I love rock music, but actually it was a dance song that actually captured my attention really fast. And I'm going to say, in this CD, it was almost the same thing that happened. So yeah, we have a really fun rock-driven CD, so let's celebrate that, because King Amusement Creative, thank you for letting Shoya Chiba actually do rock music for this CD. We have tons of rock music here, and if you are a rock fan, you are going to be in for a treat, believe me. I enjoyed a lot all the songs. I have a couple of comments about the specific songs in this CD, so let's go through those instead of talking about the CD from top to bottom, because I feel that you guys actually heard that CD by now, or you are going to listen to that CD by now, and you are going to check the review if you haven't, which will be posted on the website. Either it is already or it's going to drop in the next couple of weeks, so do look forward to that. The website is going to be updated with tons of reviews. I already have 20 reviews that I've done in the last couple of days that are going to drop on the website. So the first comment is about You and Me, or You Me, and this song is the best rock song by Shoya Chiba. I'm not going to even soften these by saying, well, for now, no, it is the best song. I believe nothing is going to top these, but please, Shoya Chiba, try to top these, because if you top these, it's going to be unbelievably amazing. So yeah, I love this song. I love how he's packing tons of emotion on the vocal end. His long notes are something that will make you, and at least while I was listening to this song, I had goosebumps all over me. I was not expecting this song to actually hit me that hard emotionally, but it did. And that's something that I value a whole lot. When I'm listening to a song, I want to connect with it. Even if I'm not listening and paying close attention to the lyrics, I want the emotion in the voice, I want the emotion in the song to connect with me. And most songs actually leave me numb. There's nothing there to feel because there was no emotion there to begin with. The songs were performed as is, without any care whatsoever about how the emotions are being conveyed and how they will connect with the listener. But here, in You, Me, or You and Me, however you want to call this song, Shoya Chiba wrote the lyrics and actually performed with so much emotion that you are left with goosebumps all over. This is one of those rock songs that will shake you to your core. It is heart-wrenching at times, it is really beautiful at others, and it shows one thing that I love to say, that Shoya Chiba is a really good lyricist, and you should he should be writing more lyrics to his songs, because he has talent for that. He just needs a platform, and now he has his own platform. He's a solo artist. He just needs more confidence from King Amusement Creative to let him take the reins and write his own music, because he has talent. And he shows that plenty of times within this album that he's a really talented lyricist, and he has the potential to actually come up with really awesome things in the future. You, Me is a good example of that. If you listen to this song, this is going to wreck you completely. I was a wreck after this song. It has an amazing guitar solo as well. Not only the vocals are really going for high notes, really emotional, powerful, really intense, it will put you on the edge of your seat, but also the guitars are screaming in the background. You can feel the raw emotions in this performance. I feel it is one of the best songs in 2025 and the best rock song by Shoya Chiba by far. Honestly, I want more and more of these if possible. Then we have, and another song that I wanted to talk about is Harmonize. I remember when the song dropped, a couple of you went to the comments in the forums or the, let's say, the survey for the monthly review episode, and you said this was a slightly different song, but it was extremely enjoyable. I can understand you now. I listened to Harmonize, and I was left wanting more because, first of all, this is a really chill song. Loungy, from start to finish, it is a loungy song with really good vibes, really fun, with a really warm bass line. And what you have in the background will lead you to a really awesome performance on the vocal end by Shoya Chiba. It is super gentle, his voice, throughout the performance. The song is really, this is one of those songs that I want to have playing in the background while I work in something stressful, because it's going to slow down my pace, it's going to relax me, and I want that in my life. So if you are looking for a song to relax you a lot, with a really good voice on top and really good vibes underneath, this is the song for you. Harmonize is really, really warm. It's the kind of song that you want. It feels almost like it is hugging you throughout the performance, and I like this feeling of feeling protected, warm, cozy, relaxed and safe in a place. This is the vibe, the soundscape that is basically here is exactly that. It also has that sort of unplugged vibe, which I like a whole lot. The guitars are not screaming with big amps and everything else playing in the background to actually make an impact. The funky stuff is really subdued to the point that it feels like the guitars are unplugged and they are just playing next to you and nothing is really connected to anything. It's just a really intimate, cozy performance that you will want more of. And honestly, I was all in for this performance. Harmonize really stood out to me as one of the best songs in this release, easily. And this was previously released, but I hadn't checked it because I basically don't check previews. And we have then, we have a couple of other songs which are crazy. But let's go to Night Thief. This song I mentioned when I was unboxing that I felt this is going to be a really sexy song. Slightly, I was a little bit off with my prediction. Still, I feel it is an alluring song. Not necessarily overly sexy or overtly sexy, which is not, but it is really fun. It feels like a type of song that you would feature as the theme song for a spy movie, in a way. It has that vibe of mystery with class and elegance all mixed up to create a really fun, mysterious sound that captures your attention. It has a ton of influences of jazz music in here, a lot of funk from funky guitars really leading the way in a sort of a wah-wah effect. We have brass in the background giving a ton of fun elements and fun things to play with in terms of the dynamics in the background. It is a really rich and fun instrumental, and then when the vocals kick in, it's a really 100% fun song. And I felt that, and I mentioned this on the review, Kanjuro would be the best dance song by Shoya Chiba, but I was off the mark because Night Thief actually takes that crown right now. I do love Kanjuro. Don't get me wrong. I love that song. If that song starts playing, I know the lyrics by heart. But Night Thief may dethrone that song quite easily because the lyrics are still quite easy to understand and I may memorize those soon. So that's going to go into my repertoire of songs that I immediately press play and I know the lyrics by heart. So yeah, I love this song a whole lot. Playful, mysterious, and cheeky at times. I like this vibe a whole lot and it suits his voice. So Shoya Chiba actually did an amazing job with Night Thief. Honestly, I was all into this song. So yeah, these were the songs that stood out the most to me. We also have a track 8, which I haven't translated the title by now, so pardon me because the kanjis are not my strength. But track 8 is absolutely crazy. I don't know where to start talking about that track. It's not that it is the best track in this CD, it is the track that will throw off people the fastest. If you know what I mean. This is a song that feels almost like Soma Saito's Kyohansha. It's going to find you in a weird place and will develop in a weird way, unexpected at times. It blends a ton of elements of different music genres all within the same song, so prepare yourself because that song is crazy. But yeah, overall, Streak by Shoya Chiba is a really solid first album. Honestly, to me, it is a strong contender for Album of the Year, although I feel that Makoto Furukawa has yet to be dethroned. Catch Me If You Can is still my contender for the album of 2025, but I've yet to review many things and we have many SEIYUU artists that are quiet and may release music until the end of the year, so we are going to wait for those. But Shoya Chiba is well within the top 5 for me right now, which is already good. By the end of the year I will decide where he sits, depending on if I am still listening to the CD and I still find it fun or not. But yeah, really strong CD, a fantastic outing. If you are trying to get into Shoya Chiba's music, this is the perfect way to start. Honestly, you can start with this CD and then go to the first EP and the first single and enjoy everything else that there is in between. But treat this album as really a good introduction to what he does and who he is as a solo artist, because he's trying to define the style that he has, the genre that he likes the most. He already has the most comfort possible on the vocal end. If you listen to him, and I made this note yet again, if you listen to him in this album, he already sounds like a veteran artist and he only has 2 years or 1 year of career, which is not much. So this is amazing what he has done so far. I feel that he deserves all the attention that you can give him at the moment. Is incredibly talented. Streak is so much fun. If you love rock music, this is going to be your jam. If you want performances that will leave you in awe at times, it does have plenty of those in this CD. Don't be, well, let's say, be prepared to be surprised. I will say this like that, because otherwise I would be unveiling too much. But still, the review is going to drop on the website, so if you want to, you can actually dive a bit deeper into what I thought about each song, because I go in depth about each song in this release, as well as I have the final considerations that is basically a summary of what I thought about the CD as a whole. But from what I can say, this is an amazing CD, and I actually have been listening to some of the songs on loop. Harmonize was on loop while I was writing the final considerations, which is a good sign. Yumi also was on loop, and that song is amazing, unbelievably good. That was a song that made me proud of what he is doing as a solo artist, and made me think, yeah, if we have a successor to Soma Saito as a solo artist, it is Shoya Chiba. I've said this countless times before. I said this when he debuted. People still think I'm slightly crazy because of that, but he feels like a really good successor to him, if Saito ends up wrapping up his solo career eventually. Rock music is in good hands when it comes to solo artists, I feel. So yeah, I'm quite excited about what he can do next, but Streak was the standout release in July.
But yeah, I was really excited about Streak as soon as I got it. I actually did an unboxing video in case you haven't watched yet. It is on the channel. I also covered it in a lot of detail in the monthly review episode, and all I've got to say is that rock is really in good hands with Shoya Chiba. Honestly, I was worried that this new generation of SEIYUU artists was not too keen about rock music, especially because there's not many focused in rock about rock music. We have Shoya Chiba and Gakto Kajiwara when it comes to the newest generation of SEIYUU artists. If we don't look to the newest generation and look to SEIYUU already in their 30s, we have Shugo Nakamura, and we have Shotaro Morikubo, Soma Saito, and barely anyone else, which is not a lot. We have Serenity as well, but that's a band, not a SEIYUU artist, or let's say an artist individually. So we don't have as much rock as we have pop music. And whenever there is a SEIYUU artist that fully embraces rock music or gives it a more approachable alternative rock, pop rock sound that will make pop fans veer or try rock music, it actually makes me quite happy, because that's another batch of people that may be converted to enjoying rock music. It may lead to venturing to a music genre that they actually love but can't pursue because it doesn't sell. When we look at the sales in Japan and even the sales worldwide, only now we are seeing a shift worldwide for rock music actually selling more than pop music, but still, it is a rare thing. It has always been pop music because it is popular, let's say, and easy to listen and easy to digest. Nothing is really complex, nothing is really disruptive. So pop music is really the thing that most people will listen to because it is enjoyable. But it is good to see something changing, shifting, and I like to see when SEIYUU artists actually venture towards rock music and even more obscure with quotation marks, music genres such as jazz, acid jazz, and even going into all the sub-genres within rock, post-rock, shoegaze rock, and everything else. It is good to see that exploration of the rock genre and in all its dimensions, and for more people to be excited about and try to check it, because when SEIYUU artists are actually creating music in these music genres, they are introducing these music genres to most people, I would say. Because most people will listen to pop music, not necessarily be rock fans or jazz fans or acid jazz fans. Acid jazz is even more of an enigma for most people. And many other subgenres that I've already mentioned here, and many more that I haven't. So it is really good to see that rock music is well represented in Shoya Chiba, as well as Gakto Kajiwara. Let's not forget him, because he has a really good pop rock sound. It is enjoyable. It is, I would say, what is traditional within the J-rock scene. Shoya Chiba is more of a mix of what you listen from international artists mixed with Japanese rock influences, which is really my taste. It's that mix more so than the overly by the book style of pop rock music that is much in line with Baseball Bear, which is a really famous rock band in Japan. So I'm really excited about this CD. I cannot stop talking about it. Harmonize continues to be one of the songs that I enjoy a whole lot. So Yumi is the best rock song so far in 2025. I hope someone surprises me, but I've yet to be surprised, so that's to be left to judge by the end of the year when I talk about the best songs of the year. Let's see if another rock song actually impresses me a lot. We have had a couple of rock songs that have been amazing. Mind you, Yumuchi also released double singles in April, and one of those, Singularist, actually has rock music in there, which is really good. But Streak by Shoya Chiba actually stands out to me the most so far. It is an amazing album. I would fully recommend you to check it. If it is your very first time coming across Chiba and you want to get into his music, I would say Streak is a good way to start checking his music, but still I would recommend Blessing, because that's a really overly confident and confidence that is backed up by quality type of EP that you will not find anywhere else. You didn't find that confidence with Yumuchida's debut, with Soma Saito's debut, with Kentito's debut, which was fairly amazing, let's say, but was not to the level of Shoya Chiba's Blessing when he made his solo debut. Streak is a good album that you can dive into, but I would say if you are first coming across Shoya Chiba, Blessing is the best way to start. You can avoid Contrail because Contrail is not a really good single. And you can go to Streak, I would say. And you have amazing music in Streak, you have amazing music in Blessing. You have some good moments in Contrail, mind you, but it's not an overly amazing CD. I feel pop fans will enjoy more Contrail than rock fans will enjoy Contrail. All in all, Streak is an amazing release, so if you want to get into his music, that's a good way to start. I would say newcomers are going to enjoy it, fans are going to love it. This is a strong contender for Album of the Year. For me, it is within the top 5 best releases of 2025. Yumi is clearly the best rock song of 2025 by now, and we still have a ton of SEIYUU artists that have yet to release music by the end of the year, so let's wait. But at the moment, Yumi is the best rock song of 2025 by a male SEIYUU artist or band, so you have tons of awesome things in Streak. I feel that this is an album that deserves to have you take your time, enjoy each and every single piece of rock song that there is here. You also have your quieter moments like with Harmonize, in which it is loungier, it is quieter, and it serves as a really good intermission to prepare you to the second half of the CD. So I feel you have a really well balanced CD here. It is a strong first album, I would say. Shoya Chiba continues with that streak of releases in which he sounds so confident that he almost sounds like a veteran SEIYUU artist when he only has 2 years of career as a solo artist, which is crazy. So yeah, this was all that I had to say about Shoya Chiba's streak. I would love to know what you thought about the CD. Did you like it? Have you checked it yet? Which is your favorite song? Or if you haven't, are you curious about this CD? And now, of course, if you are on a streaming platform, please follow the podcast or subscribe to it, depending on what the platform is calling it. Or leave a review, because it is really easy to leave a review. It's just to put those stars there if you feel like it deserves any stars. And if you are on YouTube, please remember, if you aren't subscribed, please subscribe. If you enjoyed this episode and want more of this content, don't forget to give a like to this video, because it helps a lot with visibility and it tells YouTube and other people that they should be checking this episode and actually getting more people to watch it. So thank you very much for watching this episode, and I'll see you guys in the next one.